I know most people probably didn't watch this Bulls game tonight, given the Bears game is going to take most of the attention of Chicagoans away from a basketball game, and I don't blame you one bit, especially with the kind of game that was going down to the wire in OT. And man, my condolences to all Bears fans out there tonight. That was heartbreaking, especially after coming back and looking like they were going to pull off the improbable. Insane season though, way better than expected. You have to look at it that way if you're a Bears fan. And of course, I'm sure most weren't watching the Bulls game because the Bulls were playing the Brooklyn Nets, a depleted Nets team at that, with no Michael Porter Jr. and Drake Powell. But hey, that's why I'm here, to give you the rundown, the overview for all of you that likely missed this game. And what I'll say is, when I learned that Michael Porter Jr. was going to be out of the lineup for quote-unquote rest, classic tank tactic, when your best player is kind of going off and playing better than expected, you have to start resting them this time of year. But when I saw that MPJ was going to miss the game, I actually thought the Bulls were going to somehow blow this. I mean, we've seen this so many times already this season where the Bulls are given a gimme for an easy win, bottom feeders in the league who are without some of their better players, and the Bulls wet the bed in those games and lose in embarrassing fashion. But to my surprise, in being skeptical of this team, they actually took care of business and won a game they were supposed to win, especially after playing the same team the other night, took an L in a game they still should have won, even though the Nets were healthier in that last game. Like, yes, there was a brief period in the second quarter where the Bulls kind of fumbled a bit and let the Nets kind of hang around where they got within 10 points. But outside of that, the Bulls completely controlled this game. And I won't sit here and praise them for it when you're supposed to be doing that against the youngest team in the league at home, but the Bulls could have done what we've seen them do so many times this season: not show up, think they're gonna come in and win with ease and get punched in the mouth. The Bulls were pretty locked in throughout this game, and that really goes on both ends of the floor. Yeah, there were some bad defensive plays here and there, missed switches on pick and rolls, miscommunication on help defense of who was going to come over to prevent a drive, but for the most part, the Bulls were active, aggressive, and hassling guys on the perimeter, which killed the Bulls in the last two matchups by allowing the Nets to get so many threes. Don't get me wrong, the Nets still hit 16 threes and shot it at 43% from deep, but they weren't able to get up 50 plus as they had done in the prior two meetings against the Bulls, because the Bulls did a much better job at contesting shots. On offense, Bulls did a great job taking care of the ball, which they've been really good about doing lately. I don't know if that's because Trey Jones and Io are handling the ball more with Josh Giddey being out of the lineup and they're not taking as risky of passes, but it's a pleasant sight to see with this team constantly, or what they were anyway, they were constantly turning the ball over and conceding points off of turnovers. And then of course, it also just helps when the shots are falling. That's what did it for the Bulls in the game the other night. They could not buy a basket in the second quarter, and they were digging themselves out of the game from that point forward, even though they nearly pulled it off in a comeback win. The Bulls in this game, though, shot 52%. They hit 23s, 43% from three. They won the possession battle, got 11 more shots up than the Nets did, thanks to the Bulls being more locked in on the offensive glass in this game. And then points in the paint, what worked well for them in the last game. They honed in on that to really break away and end this game early. 58 points in the paint compared to the Nets' 40. Shout out to Coby White. We needed a game like this from Coby. This was the first game in a while where you knew Coby was feeling it, and it just seemed like every time he released it, you knew it was going in. 7 threes for Coby in this game, was 8 for 14 overall, 24 points, but more importantly, his decision making was a lot better. Was taking smarter shots, knew when to defer to others, wasn't driving to the basket, getting stuck in midair and then throwing it out to the perimeter hoping someone would bail him out. Good game for Coby, season high in threes, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Modest had a solid game as well. Still getting those block numbers up, 2 in this game with some nice, strong, aggressive plays on defense to deter a lot of shots, even the ones that he did not block, but also had a better stroke from deep, 3 for 6 from 3, 6 for 13 from the floor, 17 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been getting those assist numbers up a bit, bringing the ball up the floor more, which has been good to see. You love to see him taking more control and setting up the offense. Any new skills for his development is great. Vooch couldn't hit his threes, and I'm sure he wouldn't have taken that many if the Bulls didn't have a massive lead throughout most of this game, but even still managed to put up 17 points on 8 for 18 from the floor, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He was a plus 20 in this game, the highest among all starters. It was good that Vucevic didn't have to put in a ton of minutes since the game was out of reach by the fourth quarter. I love the move of putting Jalen Smith in the starting lineup with Vooch, especially when you saw that worked out so well for the Bulls when they started Smith in the second half over Trey Jones in the previous game. Just fits better going up against a big lineup in Brooklyn, and Smith was solid in that role. 12 points, hit a couple threes, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and Trey Jones coming off the bench was great. 10 points, 10 assists. The Bulls had 41 assists, by the way, in this game. To put up that kind of total without Josh Giddey is actually insane. The ball was flying all over the place, and yeah, I guess, you know, it's easy to get assists when you're hitting pretty much every shot that you're putting up. And then Io, man, just another phenomenal game. He has been so insanely efficient this season, and he's getting it done on both ends of the floor. Plays his role well coming off the bench. Like, I'm actually not sure he would be as successful as we're seeing in the starting lineup, because he really takes that leadership role in the second unit well. Tonight, 19 points on 7 for 14 shooting, 5 for 8 from 3, 5 assists, and a team high plus 22 when he was on the court. So anyway, sorry to all my Bears fans out there, but at least the Bulls got a win. They won a game they were supposed to win and didn't blow it. What's crazy is that the Bulls are actually only 3 games out of the 6 seed right now, 3.5 games out of the 5 seed. The Eastern Conference playoff race tightening up a bit. The Bulls do have some tough games coming up, though, with the Clippers, Timberwolves, Celtics, and Lakers. We'll see how they fare during that stretch. The hope, though, is that they'll be getting Josh Giddey back this week, maybe even as early as their next game on Tuesday against the Clippers. So stay tuned for that. I also will have some mock trade videos coming out this week as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. In the meantime, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.